Hello students, good morning to all of you. Today I will continue the explanation of the story The Rat Trap. You remember that Edla, the Iron Master's daughter, went to the forge to persuade the peddler to stay with them over Christmas. She spoke to the peddler in such a friendly manner that he got ready to go to the miner house. He came to the Iron Master's house, and the next day was Christmas Eve. In the morning, the Iron Master and his daughter were sitting at the dining table for breakfast. They were waiting for the peddler to join them. The peddler entered the room. He was looking well groomed. He had bathed, cut his hair, and shaved. He was wearing a nice suit that belonged to the Iron Master. And he stood before them. Now we will continue the story from here, from the fourth para from above, on page number 39. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the Iron Master did not seem pleased. Although his guest was so well groomed, the peddler was well groomed. He was wearing nice clothes. He was looking neat and clean. He was well dressed. In spite of that, the Iron Master was not happy to see him. He was not pleased. He looked at him with puckered brow. He looked at him angrily. Puckered means wrinkled. He had wrinkles on his brow. It means he looked at him angrily. And it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. Now, it was easy to understand that when the Iron Master saw the peddler in the forge, in dark, in the reflection of the furnace, his image, the peddler's image, was not very clear. He could not see him clearly. So he mistook him for an old acquaintance. He had made a mistake there. But that now, when he stood there in broad daylight, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. But now the peddler stood before them in broad daylight. There was enough light to see him clearly. Now there was no room for any mistake, and it was not possible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. What does this mean? He thundered. When the Iron Master saw the peddler and he realized his mistake, now he knew that he was not his friend. He got angry. He angrily asked him, he thundered, he asked him loudly to explain what that meant. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. The dissimulate means hide one's thoughts or feeling. The stranger did not try to hide anything. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. He understood that the splendor, that the grandeur had come to an end. It means that the peddler understood that he had been exposed now. There was nothing to hide. Everything was very clear, and everyone now knows who the peddler was. He was not an acquaintance of the iron master. "It is not my fault, sir," he said. Now, the peddler tried to defend himself. He told the iron master very clearly that he was not to be blamed. He should not be blamed. "I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader." He told the iron master that he never pretended. He never tried to show that he was not a poor trader. He was not a poor tramp, poor rat trap seller. He never tried to pretend anything that he was not, and pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. He told the iron master that he pleaded, he requested and begged only to stay in the forge. He came to the forge to spend night, to seek shelter, and he pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay there for the night, and he did not want anything else, and he never pretended that he was not a poor trader, he was not a rat trap seller, he was somebody else. He never said that. "But no harm has been done. At worst I can put on my rags again and go away." The peddler told them that still no harm had been caused, no harm had been done, and he was ready to wear his rags, his torn clothes, and go away from there. "Well," said the iron master, hesitating a little, "it was not quite honest either." You remember that when the iron master addressed him as Nil Solo in the forge, the peddler did not tell him that he was not Nil Solo. He kept quiet, thinking that he could get some money from the iron master. That's why he did not disclose his identity. It means the iron master reminds him that it was not very honest on his part. By not disclosing his identity, he had not done some. He was not very honest. "You must admit that." Iron master asked him to accept that he was not very honest. "And I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter." It means that the iron master wanted to call the sheriff. Sheriff was an official to keep law and order, like a police officer. Iron master threatened to call sheriff to look into the matter. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. Hearing that the iron master wanted to call the sheriff, the tramp got angry and he hit the table. He struck the table with his fist. "Now I am going to tell you, Mr. Iron Master, how things are." Here things means a general situation. Now he told the iron master that he would explain to him, he would tell him what the situation was, how things were, or what the situation was. He said, "This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap." Now he was explaining his philosophy about the world. He told the iron master that this world was nothing but a big rat trap. He compared the world with a rat trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese rinds and bits of pork set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. He continued to explain his philosophy. He told the iron master that all the good things of life, What are those good things? Uh, these riches, wealth, properties, food, shelter, clothing, heat, all these things of life, according to the peddler, were like beds, were like cheese rinds and bits of pork. Cheese rinds and bits of pork are used in the rat trap to trap the rats. These are used as a bait for trapping rats. In the same way, the nice things of the world are baits for people, to trap people, to drag people into trouble. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Iron Master, must remember that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork and then you will get caught in the trap. And now he tells the Iron Master that if the sheriff comes and arrests him, he locks him up. Then he reminded the Iron Master that a day may come in his life also that he would like to get a big piece of pork and get caught in the rat trap. You remember that he compares the Iron Master's I'm sorry, you remember what he himself did. Now he is trapped, the peddler is trapped in the rat trap of the world. He is in trouble. How he got into trouble? The crofter's money was like a bait for him. It was a nice thing for him. And he got tempted to touch it. And he got caught in the rat trap of the world. He was trapped in the trap. He was in trouble now. In the same way, he is warning the Iron Master that a day may come when he himself would like to touch a bait and he may get caught in it. A big piece of pork means a bait for trapping the rats. The Iron Master began to laugh. This is the character of the peddler, that he is a little humorous. His philosophy about the rat trap amused the Iron Master, and he began to laugh. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. It means that what the rat trap seller told him was not so badly said. It means it was badly said, even if not so badly. It means that the Iron Master did not like the peddler's comments. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve, but now get out of here as fast as you can. After listening to the lecture of peddler, the Iron Master decided not to call the sheriff. But he told the peddler to get out of his house as quickly as possible. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, but just as the man was opening the door, means the peddler went up to the door and he was about to open the door to get out of the house. The daughter said, Edla said, I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. And with that, she went and closed the door. Edla expressed her desire that peddler should stay with them. And she did not want him to go. And she said that, and she went and closed the door. The peddler was near the door. He was about to open it, or he had opened it a little bit to get outside. The Edla went there and stopped him and closed the door. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. The father told Edla what she was doing. The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. When the iron master asked Edla what she was doing, Edla stood there and she felt quite uncomfortable. She did not know what to say. That morning she had felt so happy when she thought how home-like and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. Here poor hungry wretch is referred to the peddler, the tramp. Wretch means an unfortunate person, a very unlucky person. That morning she felt so happy. That morning on the Christmas Eve, she felt very happy, and she wanted to make things very home-like for and Christmas Eve for peddler. Okay, she wanted to make things very like home, as if he wanted to make the peddler. Edla wanted to make peddler comfortable, as if he was at home. Home-like means like home. He wanted to make peddler comfortable, as if he was at his home. And Christmassy, like Christmas. For that poor hungry wretch. It means Edla felt sympathetic. She was kind and sympathetic towards the peddler. She could not get away from the idea all at once. And she could not get away from that idea all at once. Means she still entertained that idea how to make things home-like and Christmassy for the peddler. She could not get away from this idea at once. And that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. Intercede means to plead with somebody to show mercy. Edla had pleaded with her father to show sympathy to the peddler. It means she had interceded on behalf of the peddler. For the vagabond means same peddler. Vagabond means a homeless person, a tramp. And I am thinking of this stranger here. Okay. This is an important question. Why she had interceded for the vagabond? Why she had interceded? Because she had planned to make things like home and like Christmas. She wanted to entertain the peddler well on the Christmas Eve, and she could not get away from this idea at once. That is why she interceded, she pleaded on behalf of the peddler. I am thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. Now Edla is explaining why she wanted the peddler to stay at their home over Christmas. She is explaining that the peddler walks and walks the whole year. He is a tramp. He is a homeless person. He does not have any place to live, to stay. So he walks and walks the whole year long. And there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome. And nobody welcomes him. In the whole country, perhaps there is no place where people welcome him and can feel at home. There is no place where he can feel that he was at his home. Where he can feel that where he can feel comfortable. At home means comfortable. Wherever he turns, he is chased away. Wherever he turns means wherever he goes, he is turned away. He is chased away. Always, he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. He is a poor peddler. Wherever he goes, he is chased away, and he is always afraid of being arrested, of being locked up, and cross-examined. Cross-examined means questioned. Anyone can question him where he was going, what he was doing. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. Edla is a kind lady. She is sympathetic towards the peddler, and she says, I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us. Edla told his father that she would like to have him enjoy a day of peace. At least one day of peace he can enjoy with them. Just one in the whole year. Just one day in the whole year he can have a day of peace. Okay. This is an important para. This is speech by Edla. Why she interceded, why she pleaded on behalf of the peddler, what she thinks about peddler. This peddler was a homeless person. He walks and walks, and nobody welcomes him, and he does not get even a day of peace in the whole year. So she wanted him to stay with them over Christmas, enjoy everything, and eat the Christmas food with them, so that he can feel at home. The iron master mumbled something in his beard. Mumble means say something indistinctly, not clearly. He said something that could not be heard. He could not bring himself to oppose her. He could not he was not able to oppose Edla. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. But anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. She continued. She told his father that it was a mistake. Although it was a mistake, that his father mistook him as a captain. But it does not mean that they should chase away, they should drive away a human being like that. And who was that person? He was the same person whom they had promised Christmas cheer, whom only they had requested him to come to their house, whom they had asked to come to their house. He had not come on his own. His father and Edla had gone to the forge and requested him to come to their house. He had not come on his own. And second reason was that to whom we have promised Christmas cheer, and these people had promised him to stay over Christmas. Christmas cheer means the food and drink that people eat and drink at Christmas. Okay, so she told his father that he was a human being, and they had promised them, and they had only asked them to come to their house, and they had promised them Christmas cheer. Therefore, they should not chase him away. They should not tell him to go to get out of their home. You do preach worse than a parson. Iron Master told her daughter that she preached worse than a parson. Parson is a priest. This is another way of appreciating. He appreciated his daughter for having a good power of persuasion, for being good at convincing. Edla had good persuasion power. So his father appreciated her for that. I only hope you won't have to regret this. His father told her that he hoped that she would not have to regret, she would not have to repent for that, for allowing the peddler to stay at their home. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. The young girl, she closed the door, and then she held his hand and brought him to the dining table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given him. She could see that her father had given him. It means that her father had surrendered, her father had accepted defeat. Seeing that, she went up to the peddler and she brought him to the dining table and asked him to sit and eat. The man with the red traps, said not a word. This man with the red traps did not say a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. He sat down at the dining table and started eating. Time after time means repeatedly, again and again. He looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. Time and again and again, the red trap seller looked at the young girl, Edla, who had interceded for him, who had pleaded on his behalf. Why had she done it? What could be the crazy idea be? The red trap seller, the peddler, was wondering, he was thinking why Edla had done that for him, and he wanted to understand what that crazy idea, he called that crazy idea, what that crazy idea could be. What was the crazy idea? The idea to stop a tramp and allow him to stay at their home. He could not understand this idea of Edla to allow a peddler, a tramp, at her home. Okay, so my dear students, I think it is enough for today. We will continue the explanation tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.